How do you feel when you hear a buzzing near your ear? Or what do you think when you see a bee at your table? There is a great chance that you think about this or this. But as with many other things that we have preconceptions of, these are just small parts of the big picture. So, why do we fear bees? Where does it come from? Is there more to them than just annoyance and stingers? In this video, I will try to give you all of my knowledge about bees and make you see them from another perspective. Let's start with the first and second questions. First of all, the human mind fears what it doesn't know. This fear response comes from our amygdala, which millions of years of evolution have programmed to protect us from things that can harm us. We see the harmful side of the beast because we are programmed to do so. While we are not living in the same dangerous times as our ancestors did, you can't undo instincts that culminated in such a long time, but you can train them. This is where the third question comes to mind. And as you may have guessed, yes, there are. Bees are winged insects closely related to wasps. Yes, they are not the same. They are on the order of Hymenoptera due to their hooked wing types which let the front row of the wings hook to the back row. And they are considered a family known as Apidae. While some species live in groups with a queen such as honeybees, bumblebees, and my and probably yours will be favorite, stingless bees, most of the bees are solitary. These solitary bees only come together to mate, and after that, they spend their whole life cycle making their nests and gathering pollen for their brood. They do not produce valuable food resources such as honey, and because of that, they are targeted by predators much less. This level of love threat also makes them quite docile contrary to their social counterparts. You can see them as an introverted friend who likes to gather pollen and create purple ice cream shaped balls. When it comes to pollinating, they are much more effective than your average honeybee. This is thanks to their specialization as sole pollen gatherers. You can see this in their hairy bodies. Same as bumblebees, they dive into flowers with these hairs and stick pollen to them, which greatly enhances their gathering efficiency and lessens their need for weaving back and forth between flowers and their nest, hence conserving more energy. This strategy also almost guarantees the flowers to be pollinated thanks to the increased contact area. But while these little guys cover almost 95% of the bee species, why are they much more unknown? This is because of one thing only: direct value to human life and economy. Honey covers a great part of our needs such as food, beauty products, and medicinal drugs. This increased value of honey in human life also makes honeybees in our life much more important and widely known. But this generalization of seeing bees as one sole species comes with some costs. As we talked about before, these bees' valuable sources attract predators, which makes them much more aggressive contrary to their other parts. Humankind's need for honey and selective constant breeding haven't helped with that either. In 1956, a Brazilian scientist brought African honeybees to Europe to crossbreed them with European honeybees to combine the tropical climate resistance of African bees with calm demeanor and greater honey yields of European bees. But this plan quickly backfired, as some drones escaped the quarantine and resulted in unmonitored crossbreeding with feral European honeybees, thus creating the widely known invasive killer bees. Sadly, fear response to these bees affected more gentle bees and anything that seemed like a bee, such as wasps. Even now, while there are revolutionary movements such as World Bee Day, which tries to prevent the extinction of bees, honeybees are the mascot animals of these movements. Simply put, we are missing the bigger part. While they do not provide honey, solitary bees are the primary factor of pollination, thus the food growth. And if we were to examine them a little bit longer, we would be able to see how gentle they are. Sadly, these cuties are facing with a lot of things such as habitat loss, pesticides, and depletion of wildflowers. If you are still watching this video, probably you took a liking to these winged teddy bears. So, how can you help them? First of all, we need to create a habitat. There are three main factors to that: a water feature, a food source, and a nesting place. For water, you can put a water bowl if you have the space, or place a little lid that's topped out with water like I do. Be careful though. Try to put some sticks and rocks in it so if a bee falls into the water it can climb back up. For food, try to sow some wildflowers to your garden and to the pots if you have a balcony. You can even hang them from your windows if you have pots with hanging parts. Try to choose the flowers that are native to where you live and try to sow species different from one another. A simple rule of thumb in biology is variation in resources results in biodiversity, which is different kinds of life in one area. In our case, pollinators such as butterflies, hoverflies, and most importantly, bees. For shelter, you can drill different sizes of deep holes in some logs and then fix them in your garden or balcony. Be careful about placement though. Nests must be away from water to prevent mold growth, so try to find a place that's sheltered from rain. Also, bees like the morning sun a lot, so try to find a place that is sunny in the morning and a bit shadowy at noon. The same principles in biodiversity apply to this step too. Be creative. Try hollow bamboos, different sizes and types of holes, or use different materials than logs to drill them. But be careful that these materials are natural and don't have any chemicals that can harm your bees. This is my setup and it manages to help a lot of wildlife. Now hopefully you are not afraid of bees and you will help them to survive. I hope this video was helpful and entertaining to you. If it was, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps. Thank you for watching.